ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुमीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Oh, I'm muted. Oops, sorry. Well, I see some faces familiar. Uh, Camila, if I'm talking too fast, just raise your hand or say something. I will stop. And if you have any questions, meanwhile, you can feel free to ask. We can have also a conversation, or it's more nicer if it's interactive, yeah. So I think it's already was written there. It's not that I understand Russian, but I believe that Guru Kata here he wrote already something about me. But in short, I live in SPN since 2016. Mm, the same year I met Guruji, the same year I came here to live in SPN, and I stay until now. We see what is Guruji's plan for the future, and yeah, my service, or it was based since the beginning in a construction department, so it was not like that I was moving a lot or that I was changing my seva constantly. Uh, we try a few times, or actually, other people try, but Guruji didn't allow. And but the rest, like I serve in a temple by Guruji's grace. In I serve with Radha Krishna. And is this something important for me? No. And yeah, that's it. But maybe I would like to, if somebody of you can tell me what is for you seva, what seva means for you. You can just unmute yourself, or I don't know how does it work for your permissions in Zoom call, but or you can just raise your hand. Anybody? So I see that it's many hands already up, so I will answer by myself because it's too much. We don't want to use time. Yeah, so for sure you already heard it many times. It's a selfless service. Yeah. And I don't know how many of you are devotees or followers, or not even followers, maybe first time met Guruji. So I would say maybe it's 50-50 or more or less. Is that correct? More or less, yeah. Okay. So selfless service, yeah. And service. This is also already like big taboo, yeah, especially for the outside world, yeah. And for the people from outside who are like narrow-minded and everything, because service for them, it's automatically related to I need to obey somebody, yeah, I need to listen somebody, and I need to do what he told me to do, and I don't have my right to think, my right to act, my right to behave, and so on, so on, so on. Basically you are becoming a slave, you know. But actually it's it's a Western way of thinking, yeah, let's say. And that's why the selfless service is in Hinduism, it's mean the selfless service is it's often associated with karma yoga and bhakti yoga. Yeah, the karma yoga is discipline of action, how you're performing certain action, in which kind of mindset you're performing. And also bhakti yoga is the same, is discipline of devotion. Yeah. For example, Guruji Paramahansa Ishananda, he gave us so many varieties of sadhanas. Yeah, Atma Kriya Yoga, japa, Om chanting, Babaji Surya Namaskar, reading, studying Gita, uh, just hanging out with sanghas, and so on, so on, so on. Yeah, so there is a different varieties where we can find ourselves and how we can serve. Yeah, because service is not just I need to wake up at 5 o'clock and my day will start. I need to do my abhishek. Then I go to my work. Then after work I'm back to my house, and then I do my housework, and then I go to sleep. Yeah. So this that seva itself, it's not just way of working how basically we are all seeing it from outside. Even how I was seeing it. Like you do this throughout the day, you plan your day, and that's it. Yeah. But actually the seva or service is constantly happening throughout the whole day. Yeah. So basically it's complete dedication of your time, yourself, and your yourself basically to God. Yeah. Guruji said that what is in your mind when you are serving, while you are serving, there should not be any competition. You should serve wholeheartedly. We came to serve to God. We have to remember that. But when you forget that you are serving God and Guru, ego takes over the pride, and pride arises. When ego and pride comes together, one become angry person and can no longer serve. And I believe many of you are familiar with this about what Guruji means that anger arise. Yeah, when the pride get crushed, when the pride get or ego gets squeezed in the corner. Yeah, and then you're becoming angry. Maybe angry is a big word because not everybody are angry constantly, but let's say frustrated. Yeah, Krishna used in Gita in chapter 2 verse 62 and 63 about he used the word angry, but we can make it more simple, maybe frustrated. Yeah, throughout the day we are getting frustrated constantly. Yeah, and it's normal. You wake up, first thing, alarm ring in the wrong time, frustrated. Yeah, you go take shower, you want warm water, and then suddenly there is a cold water, and then you don't like it because you just woke up. You get a little bit frustrated, of course, and so on. Yeah, and always like this. Yeah, I'm making tea like in the morning, and then my stick fell in the sink. What a beautiful day to start. Yeah, frustrated, and so on. There is such a long story throughout the day that we are constantly playing ping pong with our emotions and without everything, without our feelings. Yeah, but if we are forget about ourselves, yeah, if we are really going deeply into it, we will find that core of that selfless service. Yeah, about that we actually forget about ourselves. Yeah, and our mind is programmed like that, that it's constantly trying to find a the defense from somebody. Yeah? He wants to protect himself. Yeah, because he's constantly get used to work on a certain uh, memory. Yeah? And then suddenly there is you change the way of your living, and then suddenly you start accepting different kind of stuff, and you start to change the root of your memories. And also the key point is a guru. Yeah, you have a guru in your life, and he likes to push the button. Yeah, maybe even if you're not physically with him, but still he can push the button from far away. Yeah, that's why he is a Sadguru. Yeah. And he said, I will do no matter what, so that my devotees realize who actually they are, and they can see in themselves what I see inside of them. Yeah. And he said, I will do everything. In Narada Bhakti Sutra, a few years ago, he said that I will do everything. What does it take? I will even be a bad guy in this relationship. Yeah. And that's actually so beautiful, selfless act from Guruji. He doesn't put himself in front and say like, oh yes, I did this for my devotee, or don't worry, I will help you. Yeah. There is no this I and my and prestige and uh, and rise of ego and pride. And he said, don't worry, out of my love for you, I will choose to be a bad guy. Yeah. And I will help you, and I will help you to go throughout, to learn how to be selfless. Yeah. To forget about yourself, because Guruji is constantly forgetting about himself. Like, it's not that he's like even reminding about himself. Like, it, for example, darshans. Yeah. Many of you, I assume you were having online darshan, or you having real darshan with Guruji, or you heard about some darshans when there were like maybe 2,000 people, like for example in Portugal. Yeah. So Guruji, usually his flights to Portugal are like 2 days. Yeah, 2, 3 days maximum. So what that means, he's flying straight to Portugal. Maybe he's even meeting with some people that evening. Next day, already darshan starts at, let's say, 2 o'clock in afternoon, and Guruji is ready, and he already showed this multiple times, that he will sit on the chair for like hours and hours and hours. Okay, now the darshans are much faster than before, but those who remember how the darshan was before, he was even communicating with people more. He was putting hand on each person's head. So that's mean that his back is also in pain. Like, there is constant show of selfless service towards devotees. Yeah, and he would sit there for like maybe 12 hours. Yeah. And maybe he would take one break. And that break is just like maybe rush to the toilet and drink a tea. Yeah. Maybe not even that. And I'm just amazed by this. Like, it really touched me deeply when I see Guruji acting like this and doing everything for us, yeah, for our own benefit, for our own good. You know? Because I had the chance also to be, so that I'm close to Guruji, so I can also see like his reaction after darshan. Yeah, he doesn't show it so much to the people, or to the, let's say, in the public, but often he also have a headache or migraine, better say, or back pain, or, but he doesn't care. Like, he really doesn't care. I remember once he had so much pain before darshan. Even he has so much pain in his how you say, shoulders here, that he asked if we can press, here, to relax the muscles, because he needs to still sit on the chair for like I don't know how many hours. And it was like rock solid, like literally like this table. Yeah. And it didn't work, and he was late for darshan maybe 1 hour. He was basically almost sleeping all the time. And uh, and after that, out of nowhere, we were even suggesting him, maybe Guruji, it would be good if you can cancel the darshan. We always say, like, most probably people will not be upset. Yeah, people will not be angry. Darshan can happen tomorrow, like, because as devotees, we should always make it Guruji's life more comfortable, that it's much more pleasing for him. Yeah. And he was constantly rejecting this. And then after like 1 hour, he woke up full of energy and he just went straight down. He gave a darshan for like 10 hours, not even saying a word. Yeah. So for me, these small acts, small, but they're so big. And if you observe them, if you look at them in this way, if you're in tune with Guruji's acting throughout the day, whenever you have time to observe him during the live stream, and it's amazing. Like Guruji said so many times, I will never give satsang anymore. Yeah, how many times he came? Who has a question? Nobody raises hands. Like, okay, finish. I'm stuck giving satsangs. Yeah, and then the next day he's already in the puja kitchen asking like, maybe I was too rough. Maybe I talk. Maybe I go there again. Maybe somebody will have a question. Maybe I go share something. But he doesn't need to do it. But he does it because he loves us. Because he wants to serve us. Yeah, and that's so beautiful. Yeah? So coming back on our point of view of seva, yeah. In Hinduism also, maybe if you Google it, you will also find there is a 5 type of seva. Yeah, I they're a little bit stretched because there is only one type of seva, and that's selfless service. The other one are just added to that you can compare which kind of people and which kind of mentality people having while approaching seva or while they're doing seva. Yeah. So the first one is the type when you do seva to show off. Yeah. To your the most important is your image, how you present yourself. Um, is seva good enough for you to do it? Did everybody can see you doing seva? And this kind of stuff. Yeah. And maybe even uh, does this seva will make me tired or not? Yeah. So you try to pick what is good for me. Yeah. Then the fourth one is the type where you're doing seva with the mindset of getting punyas, getting merit. Yeah. So I will do this seva because I know if I do this, this, and this, I will earn this, this, and this. Yeah. So there is also this kind of approach. Yeah. The second one is that you are doing it because it's needed in that situation. Yeah. And it gives you joy. Somebody tell you something, go do this. Like for example, Guruji come to you and say like, I don't know, go and sweep the street. Yeah. Clean the street with the broom. And you just go and do it. Guruji give me seva, I'm happy. Da-da-da-da, yeah. And that's it. And you're sweeping, you're happy. Yeah. There is a first, and there is one more type of seva. And in that seva, you don't even know that you are doing seva. What does it mean? That you don't recognize it as a seva because it's very natural. Yeah, it's just that's who you are. Yeah, it's a part of you. There is not even thinking about it. I am doing seva at the moment. Yeah, and then after when I'm finished seva, I don't do seva anymore. This doesn't exist. It's just your life is seva. Your life is service, and that's number one seva. Yeah, that's what we all need to strive for, because we all like to do something and then somebody else comes to us and he's like, wow, what a nice job you did. And everybody likes to hear that. No, how nice did you sing, or how nice did you play instrument, or how nice did you whatever cook something. Yeah, or so on. Yeah? And everybody likes to hear it, and everybody act like, no, I'm yogi. I'm detached from it. Yeah, it's all for Guruji. You know, that's our best excuse. Yeah, excuse. He's like, it's okay. It's all for Guruji. I'm just in his hand. Yeah, And most of the cases, in what Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 3, he said that even if you're not attached by the sensual objects, like with your senses, but if you're attached with your mind, you're still hypocrite. Yeah. If I finish something, I finish, let's say, now we are building the new Yagnashala. Maybe some of you already know or not, I don't know. We are building the new Yagnashala in a SPN here, yeah? And we are just starting it now. And if I'm constantly working on it, what I will do, I can finish it. And I can completely walk away from it. And visibly, for everybody else, will be like, he's detached from it. Yeah? He doesn't even talk about it. He just acting that he's did completely out of selfless uh, service, yeah. But what is happening here in our mind, it's a completely different story. Maybe in my mind I will expect, or I will search from people to come to me and tell me, wow, you did really nice job, yeah, or you really help Guruji's mission, or you whatever, yeah. And that's the tricky mind, that's the hypocrisy of our mind, of our ego, what is doing to us, yeah. It's such a subtle thing, but it's actually really hard to notice it, yeah. But straight after the second verse in chapter 3 verse 6 and 7, he already said that, Krishna said that, but this is easily overcomable, like you can easily overcome that. And that's with the practice, with the constant practice, yeah. And constant practice of what? Of sadhana, what Guruji gave us, yeah. With constant japa, with constant renunciation, with constant analysis, self-analysis through our life, yeah. And often often people get easily hooked by this, yeah, not thinking that uh, that the thin line between the spirituality and material world, yeah, because the thinking out of hypocrisy, it's already a material world. You identify yourself with ego, yeah, and ego coming, it's a part of material world, so you're immediately identified with this. And Guruji said that this line between material and spiritual, it's so thin, hard to notice, so easy to deviate, yeah? So that's why we also need to constantly remind ourselves, like, you need to forget about yourself, yeah. And this is difficult, you need to forget about yourself. You are here to serve him, yeah. Even if Guruji is here next to us, in next to our in room across, or he's on the next planet, or the next planet next continent, it's like this. For example, now he's in Canada, he left this morning, yeah. But that doesn't mean that I will come back here in SPN and say, like, I will put all my four in the air, like that's how we say in Croatia, and just relax, because you know what, Guruji is not here, nobody can see me, yeah. And I can just avoid doing seva, yeah. Boss is not here, so it's fine, yeah. But it doesn't work like this, yeah. He's constantly present, he's constantly here, and he's constantly helping us throughout day, yeah, throughout our life. But how in tune we are to listen to this, and how in tune we are to hear his voice. Like Guruji said recently, I don't know if you listened satsang, and he was saying how much of us are listening our intuition, And I was the first one who said like, no, yeah, because it's so subtle, but it's always like, when you do something and you have the feeling, but you don't do it, you do something else, and then something happened, and then you're like, I knew it. Yes, I knew it. And yeah, and this I knew it, you can just avoid and actually listen to your feelings, to your intuition. Yeah, but that's also good. It's a constant practice. Yeah, you need to calm your mind down. The mind needs to be quiet so you can hear this inner call, inner voice. Yeah? I I remember once Guruji gave me really nice, actually a few times, but I share one time. He showed me how in tune I can be with him, or he allowed me to be in tune with him, so I can see that this is actually possible. Yeah. So we were in Slovenia, 2018, yeah, and we were in an apartment in Ljubljana, I think, but it's a huge apartment, huge, yeah. And Gurji's room is a big corridor, and in the middle of the corridor there is a door, and then you enter in the door, and then is again corridor of like 6 meters, and then is door on the left where is the bathroom, and door on the right where is Guruji's room. Again, big room, and on the end of the room in a corner, Guruji is sitting there in front of Giridhari. Just that you have a perception how big it is. And I'm in a corridor, just passing by. In Guruji's door from his room itself, from the corridor, are like open, but just slightly, just like this much, yeah? Almost that they're not closed fully. And I'm walking, and then suddenly I can hear Jiva, Guruji's calling, yeah? But it's not like somebody screaming. It's just a voice, his voice. That's it, saying my name. And I'm like, for sure, I'm just imagining this. Like it's not possible. I'm looking around. Guruji's not around. Everybody are in the kitchen, screaming literally because there was a joke. They were making some joke. La la. It was so funny, and they were like super loud. Yeah, like Balkan people normally. Yeah, and I'm just passing by there, and they're like, and again, it's like this, Jiva. And I'm like, what? So what I did, I knock on the door and I'm Guruji, nothing. Yeah. So I enter inside, and I'm taking really time because also like just randomly entering in Guruji's room without he allowing you, it's also very, very dangerous. Yeah. So I'm careful. I don't want to get destroyed. So I enter inside, and he's there next to Giridhari, and he turned around. He's like, I'm calling you already since 5 minutes. Why you don't come? And I'm thinking like, strange. But I didn't ask him anything. But then I actually realized in like he he literally, and I could literally hear his voice inside of me telling me to come, because it's not possible that somebody with this tonality of voice, of his voice in that moment, could be able to say something from such a long distance with the noise around me, and I could hear it so perfectly clear. Yeah. Or once, during Navaratri, I was doing the crowd control, and in that time we had a small tent. Somebody remembers, and that Navaratris were completely insane because it was a packed full of people. People were like literally jumping on each other. Yeah? And Guruji had always like a thing to do, that after, when people are dancing and everything, he would like to go. Mainly he would dance in front, but sometimes he would go in the middle, or the left or right, more to the back, yeah. So I was doing crowd control in the middle. I was keeping the people who had the day in front and the people who don't have it that day. Yeah. So I was keeping this line, yeah. And it was packed full of people, yeah. And Guruji is coming, and music is so loud you don't hear anything. And Guruji is coming, and I can see in front of him. I can see him in front of me, and without thinking, without any judgment or feeling of will that work or not, or is this true or not, or I just say it in my. I look at Guruji straight in the face, and I look and I say to myself. Actually, I said to him, "Tell me where you want to go." Like immediately, he's the same second. He just looked at me and point to the side. Yeah, and he did it so many times. I did so many times. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but it's clearly that he knows, and you can be in tune with him. Yeah, and he can give this, and he can show you that you can do it, but also he can also take it from you. Yeah, because he wants to see our effort. He wants to see that we are pushing ourselves. We are doing this seva. We are doing this. We are practicing this selfless service and sadhana, so that he can open this for us. Yeah, because look at it in this way. Yeah, the everything around us, the whole nature, whole planet Earth. Yeah, it's constantly in service. Constantly. Sun doesn't ask, should I come out today or not? He just do it. Yeah. Sun doesn't ask if this heat is enough or not. The sun constantly radiating the same heat. Yeah, the clouds are making it warmer or colder, but it's constantly the same heat, and everything works because of that. Yeah, there is autumn, there is a spring, there is a summer, there is a flowers are blooming, there is a fruits, there are vegetables, there are animals, there everything works. Yeah, and that's constantly selfless service. Yeah, and that's how Guruji wants that we came to that point, that we are just acting, we are just serving God without any judgment, without any thinking about it, without you just forget about yourself. Yeah? And to share the, because somebody asked Guruji, is it possible that sadhana, somebody asked Guruji, can seva be a sadhana which leads to God? Yeah. And Guruji's answer was yes, it can be. Yeah. Because throughout this work, constant work and constant practice, because you transmit this into the sadhana. Because sadhana, we said that sadhana is the, just a second, Guruji had the one comment here, very nice. I want to find it. I cannot find it. But actually, it's Guruji was saying that if you ever heard Mana Seva, Madhava Seva, yeah, it's service to humanity, it's service to God. If you ever heard about this, maybe Guruji said in many satsangs. Yeah, Manav Seva, Madhav Seva. So we serve the humanity, we serve God. Because why is it this? Guruji mentioned so many times that God is situated in our heart. Yeah? Antaryami. Yeah? He's always here with us. He's the source of our life. He's the source of everything. And once when we find who actually we are, because we need to first always work on ourselves. We cannot help others if we didn't work on ourselves. Yeah, I cannot teach somebody math if I didn't learn math before. Yeah, if I don't know how much is 2 plus 2, I cannot say to somebody else how much is 2 plus 2. Yeah, it's just a logic. So first, I need to work on myself. So I need to dig deeper to find who actually I am and who is actually him inside of me. And once when I find this, then I will, through the practice, I will constantly perceive him everywhere. And I will see him inside each one of you. Yeah. And then I serve humanity. I serve God. So no matter what I do, I will constantly serve other people. I look at the saints. Guruji mentioned so many beautiful saints recently, especially from Maharashtra saints and from Bhakti movement saints, Mirabai, Tukaram, Nyaneshwar, Savatamali, so many saints. And all of them, if you read the life, it's amazing. Like they completely forget about themselves. For them, it's only Vittala, only Krishna, and nothing else. Yeah? And everything around them is happening. Yeah? Even if they reach to that point, for example, Chokamela. Chokamela was it Chokamela? I think Chokamela. He was collecting uh, that corpse. Yeah, and afterwards, when he went to Pandharpur to visit Panduranga, there was a dead dog in his village, and he was already getting rotten. Yeah, and everybody was like telling where he is and he needs to do his duty, and they start judging him because he doesn't perform his duty properly, and rumor starts spreading around. And then what Vitala did, he took a form of his devotee and he went to pick himself at that dog. Yeah. So on that kind of level, that service is, because God doesn't look. For example, Tukaram's wife, she hated Panduranga. Yeah, she didn't like him at all. Yeah, and even once when she was walking up on the mountain, the thorn went in her foot. Yeah, and then Vitala came to her in disguise as a Brahmin, and he pulled her tooth from with his mouth. And then she asked him, "What's your name?" Like a Brahmin, and then he said, "I'm Vital." And then again she entered in this mad state, and then she starts swearing at him, and blah, 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 and so on, so on, so on. But that's also a beautiful story because all her thought was just forward to him. Yeah, Gopis completely, they're a perfect example of selfless service. Yeah, they had their wives, they have their husbands, they have their children, their their duties at home. But once when they heard the flute of Krishna, they were completely mad, and they let go of everything, and they went to serve him, and they went for search for him and everything. But they still did their duties, no matter how hard it was. They still did it, yeah, because that's where they have to be. That's what they're supposed to do. Yeah? It's the same like, for example, uh, maybe it will sound egoistic or that maybe sounds not so nice for me, but that's how my brain works. So yesterday, uh, there were we were having dinner here, and everybody was saying like, "Oh, we are traveling tomorrow," because many Prabhus went with Guruji to America, yeah. And first of all, my Ishtav is Narasimhan, yeah, and America is amazing. I love Swami Tulsidas, and I really want to see Narasimhan, and I want to be there for inauguration for Narasimhan, yeah. And I have really beautiful connection with Paranitya Narasimhan, and and then they were talking la 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 la, and inside of me, after a long time, I felt so, I will not say sadness, but just this jealousy of not going, yeah, there. And then what my mind did, it's tricked, or it's tried to trick me, and out of the jealousy, he swapped in victim, yeah. And then in my mind, I could hear my thought like I'm becoming a victim, like, ah, yeah, like poor me, like now they all go, but it's okay, like you need to be here. It's okay, just do seva. And then there is always this part of like, did Guruji will say something to me now? Like if he will come to me and say like, oh, it's okay, don't cry, like like this kind of stuff. Like it's complete madness. But that's what our mind does. That's his duty to trick us, yeah. But if you catch it straight away, you don't listen to it because out of small snowflake, it can become a big avalanche. Yeah. So fast enough, I to put myself together and I start analyzing. I said, okay, but how much he gave me already? Why should I even bother about this? Why am I just not happy for somebody else to be there? Yeah. And it's amazing. And actually, when I start thinking about this, I become even more happier than I was. Because then actually I start thinking like for others and their happiness and how they will be close to Guruji and how they will be happy and how many people will be close to Guruji in America and maybe even meet Guruji and he will help so many people. And why should I think world doesn't spin around me? Yeah. Guruji once said that we are like nothing, like we are, he said one time, he said like 0.00000000001, maybe he even say more zeros, I don't know. He said 1% out of who I actually am. Like he said, like you cannot even reach the dust, the shadow of my toe. That's how small we are, and we think that we are so great, and our seva is so important in this bhakti marga. And I don't know, not offense, but like BMCC knowledge teachers and arts whatever and music coordinators and so on, main pujari in a temple. Such a big list for us to be proud. And the funny thing is like the more you have, the more possibility of that proud you will become. Yeah. But also the pride can be worked on a different way, even if you don't have anything. Just by thinking about it, like, "Oh, I'm super detached and I don't have anything and I don't act like other guys," and then you start judging, comparing yourself with others and how humble you are, and so on and so on. Again, pride. Yeah. So this selfless service becomes selfish service. Yeah. Because you just want to please yourself and to please your comfort. Mm. And I'm trying to remember one of the stories with Guruji. Um, yes, once, you know, on what is Guruji allergic? Somebody knows? Guruji is allergic on two things, like the top thing. Somebody wants to say it? I will drink
Uh,
my water. Somebody will say.
so kiwi and pride.
I can see that you were mute someone. Haribom. It's true. Yeah. Kiwi and pride. And pride is one of his specialities. Yeah. He likes to destroy us completely. Immediately when he smell, he immediately attacking. Yeah. What he said that, and cats, it's true. Not allergic, but he really doesn't like cats. He really doesn't like cats. But it's true. I don't know why, but who knows? Maybe because they're also like queens. I have before when I was in Croatia, uh, 8 years ago or something like this. I have two. I don't know how we call them. Siblings cat. You know, with the blue eyes and super like white coffee further. I don't know. Siblings. I don't know. They are complete queens. Yeah, they're such a drama queens. Whatever they want, they have to have it now, and they will always fight for it. Once you're laying down, and if she wants to get cuddle, she will sit on your face until you don't start doing it. Like, or she will do some mess in the kitchen, whatever. I think that's why Guruji doesn't like them. I'm joking, but I don't know. Could be. And so back to the story. Um, Guruji's somebody gave it to Guruji bunch of lychees. Yeah. In that time, his favorite fruit. Yeah. Even still now, his favorite fruit, but he cannot have it. Lychee is like a Mauritian delicacy. What is growing on the tree? Yeah. Super juicy and sweet. And somebody bought it a lot, maybe like 3 or 4 packages. So every night we were peeling these lychees because we want to make ice cream because Guruji wanted to have ice cream. Yeah. So we were cleaning, and the day after, we put everything into freezer, and then the ice cream was ready. Yeah. And Guruji said then that night he said that he wants ice cream. So I went in the kitchen and I took ice cream and I offered to him. But there was also one ice cream next to it, and it's from mango. Yeah, also homemade ice cream, but it's still mango. It's not so classy as lychee. There's a big difference between them. And Guruji, when he has lychee, he doesn't care about mango. Yeah, if he doesn't have lychee, then he will care about mango. Let's put it in that way. Yeah? So then I give it to him the ice cream, and then he said like, "Oh, give it to others." Yeah, and I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I went there, and I'm not even thinking about it. I just start taking lychees from the pot, and I start putting other bowl, yeah, for other people. And because Guruji say, give it to others, and that's it. So I bring there, and I give to maybe to Swami Niruddha, to Swami Revati, I don't know who was else there, close to Guruji sitting. And Guruji, and I went back to the kitchen, and suddenly you can hear, "What are you eating?" He's like, "Ice cream." Aniruddha is answering. Swami Niruddha, and he's like, "Who gave you this ice cream?" She's like, Ananta. He's like, what? And then suddenly, like, you can hear this huge noise from the kitchen, like, Ananta, come here. And then of course, like now, when you hear your name in that kind of, you remember when Guruji said, like, the moth always like to come close to the fire, yeah, because he wants to get burned. And that's how he's around Guruji, yeah. And when he calls you in this kind of name or this kind of tonality, you think the whole ancestor, your whole lineage is just going to die immediately. Like you're going to vanish from the planet Earth. Yeah. So then you go there. I'm making jokes. Yeah. So, but in that kind of level of stress, you are. Yeah. So I went there, and immediately he attacked exactly where I was feeling the pride most. Yeah? I was not aware of it, but after when I reflect on it, I actually understood that I was in constant pride. Yeah. And he immediately attacked, like, who you think you are? You coming here every single day. You think that you can eat on this table whenever you want, and you can use my kitchen whenever you want, and you can do whatever you want, and immediately attacking exactly where the pride was. Yeah. And then basically he wants to say, like, all this is because I gave you this chance. I give you this. You didn't deserve anything. And that's actually true. You didn't find Guruji. Guruji found you. Period. No matter how much you think that you were in a search for Guru, the lead of you searching for Guru and making the different kind of choices and meeting different kind of people is actually his plan. Is actually he's working on it, and he's pulling you close to him, because it's time that you meet him. It's time that you grow. It's time that you turn maybe a new page in your life. Yeah. And immediately attack exactly where I was the most prideful in that moment, because it's true. Like you're going for lunch and dinner in Guruji's place. You can clean his house. You can clean his kitchen. You can serve him. You can so many things. Yeah. And of course, you want it or not, the pride will kick in. Yeah? And forget, the Seva is already gone. Yeah. And you think like, okay, I did my Seva today. Now it's free time. It's not like this. The Seva is constant. Yeah? And of course, Guruji, as he likes always, he likes to keep us busy as much as he can. Yeah? As much as he can. Like when I came here first time in SPN was I will wake up at 6:30, 6:45. I don't know. I will go for prayers at 7. The prayer will be done at 8. I will have breakfast from 8 to 9:15, 1 hour and 50 minutes. That's a long, long breakfast. Yeah? And then I will do 7 until lunch, 1 hour break after lunch until 5, sometimes 6. Prayers 6 to 7. That's it. From 7 onwards, that's it. There's nothing else to do. Yeah, maybe sometime chanting or whatever. Yeah. And then Guruji slowly, year by year, he was gradually adding stuff. Yeah. Removing, adjusting. And then suddenly the temple was open. And then everything went just like it went down here, but actually went up here. Yeah. Now it's your day start here 5:30, and ended up, if Guruji is here, my day will end up when he wants to go to sleep. And we all know that one of Guruji's name is the one who doesn't want to sleep so much. I'm joking, but he doesn't sleep so much. Yeah. So sometimes can be, I don't know, 1, 2 in the morning. Depends. Yeah. And no matter how much you are exhausted and you think about like, oh man, I really want to go to sleep, like 1 in the morning, yeah, and you need to wake up at like 5:30, and but Guruji is fully awake, full blasted, yeah, full of energy, and then he turns and like, oh, Ananta, let's do some relics, yeah, because somebody give him some relics, and now he wants to do them now, like 2 in the morning, yeah. But what you have to do? Nothing. You just forget about yourself. You forget about tiredness. You forget about exhaustion. You forget about that you need to wake up in the next 2 hours. And what else you need to do the next day. But that he's constantly pushing people that they come to the edge, and they actually he always push to the edge and then a little bit more, yeah? And then to the edge and then a little bit more. So that you can constantly actually see that you can actually handle it. You can handle stress, you can handle pressure, you can handle no sleepiness, uh, then you can handle all sale what he does, what he give it to you. But it's out of this that we can learn, that we can actually do it, and then we can go beyond this seva and sadhana, that actually become one, and that's sadhana. Mm. Because it's throughout the whole day sadhana is happening. Yeah. Throughout the whole day seva is happening. We go to sleep, what we do, we offer everything to him. Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah? So whatever I did in this life, whatever I did good or I did bad, I just offer it to you. Yeah. And then we can say that the day is finished. Yeah. Your seva is done. And then hopefully we will wake up next day and then we will continue the same thing again. Yeah. But again, it's with a different mood, with different possibilities to grow, with the different people around, with different solutions, with different problems, but it's a constant growth. Yeah. So all the possibilities uh, what we have is to actually find the true meaning of life. Yeah. My friend, uh, he's not devotee, he's not even follower. He's just guy who, by accident, I remember him, and by accident, he's from high school, and I text him and I say like, bro, do you like to have an online darshan? And he said yes. Out of 30 people from high school, he only said yes. Yeah. So I said, okay, fine. And we start talking, and he's actually just started being vegan, and he's like trying to do some meditation, but he doesn't know how to do it, but he likes it somehow, and slowly like he started doing chanting, and it's very nice, yeah. But still, since the beginning, he constantly wants to have these two lives, yeah. One life when he's going to the city, meeting with my friends, like devotees or followers, and they're doing chanting, they're doing project mantra or so on. They're talking about this stuff. And the other one is going to work and uh, hang out with his friends and fixing cars and going to the mountains, climbing and so on. Yeah. And this is constantly happening. Yeah. And he didn't text me for some time, and now a few days ago he texted me, and he just texted me, what is for you, what is your meaning of your life? Yeah. And I was very nicely surprised, because you can see that he started thinking differently. Yeah. Because something doesn't work in his life, there is a barrier that he doesn't express himself good, something is pulling him back. Yeah. So I text him and I answer him like, for me, as a point of view, as a monk, as a brahmachari, my point of view or my purpose, life purpose, is just to serve him and forget about myself. Yeah, to serve Guruji and forget about myself, and to do whatever it's needed or whatever he needs it from me, that I can make his mission better. Yeah, period. That's it. That's how I think and what I feel. But I say, like, but in general, as a human being, as a devotee, as a person who believes that we are soul and who believes uh, that we all have this part of him inside of us, then I say, like, then it's to actually find who truly we are and to help others to do the same thing once when we reach that, like to share love and to be example. Yeah? And don't bother about others, what they will say, because it's just um, anger and frustration inside of them, because they don't know why, but they just acknowledge something is different inside of you, and the soul is rebelling, and also the mind is rebelling. So the only way how they can do it is through the judgment, through anger, through frustration, through talking bad about you or talking bad about what you're doing, and so on. Yeah, and this is completely normal. And I believe that almost everybody here felt that and went through that. But that doesn't mean that you should just allow that people talk about you like that, and you should also, like, no, you stood for yourself, you're firm, you don't allow that they push you, and you believe in what you believe. Yeah? If you want to be a vegan or vegetarian, you be a vegan or vegetarian. For example, for this guy, when I was telling him, who cares what other people think about this? Who cares if nobody understands you? There's so many people else who can understand you. Yeah, look at us. We are talking about one thing only, and that's God and love, since like 1 hour already. And I would say most of us, we all understand each other. No, I hope you understand me, because otherwise, then in 1 hour I just talk in the wind. So, but I believe we all understand it because we all felt it. Yeah, my friend, he felt something. He practiced. What's his name? Project Mantra already like 2 3 times. Om chanting, just the changing the diet, already something elevate inside of him. Sorry, I have some annoying fly in my room and pissing me. Frustration, you see? Frustration. A fly in the room and I'm already getting frustrated. But it's like this, yeah? In just a small step, and already something different inside of us is waking, yeah? And we can already make the step closer. But now it's on him, because I told him, like, you cannot sit on 2 chairs in the same time. Like, you have to decide. Like, nobody else can do this for you. If you want to decide this path, material world with your friends and everything, go for it. But I'm telling you that this what you practice now, it will not work with them. Like, don't even try it. Like, or you're gonna end up alone practicing, and that's it. Or you're gonna change a different people around yourself. That's what Guru said. Be careful with who you're hanging around, because every part, it's very easy and attemptive. Yeah, because spirituality would, at the beginning for him, spirituality is like weekend spirituality. Yeah? That's what what Guruji was saying many times. But actually, it's not. It's just the way of life. It's our life. Whoever is a devotee, whoever is a follower or wants to be devotee, it's the way of living. It's not that one day I wake up and I decide, like, okay, today I will not pray, or today I will not be good to myself or to others, and I will not, whatever, do my japa or so on. It doesn't work like this. Or I will not think about Guruji or God. It doesn't work like this. We need to push. We need to push. We need to push. We need to push. Yeah? In chapter 7, verse, I think is 19. Just let me check to make it sure. Yeah, he said, "And the end of many births, the one who has true knowledge, surrendered to me, realizing Krishna is everything. Such a person is very rare." He said, "Vasudeva Sarvam." Yeah, Krishna is everything. Krishna is everywhere, and that's what we need to come to this point to understand that he is everywhere, and he is in charge of everything, and we are just his small. I don't know how you say this in English. Marionette dolls. Yeah, who he help others to share love. Yeah, I don't know. Some of you have Atma Kriya Yoga, but one of the main purpose of Atma Kriya Yoga, of course, it's work on yourself to better improvement, to grow spiritually and to mentally and so on. Yeah, but one of the main key is actually to be a beam of light. Yeah, to share that love wherever you go. That's what also Om chanting does. Yeah, Om chanting doesn't work only for yourself or for the name, what is inside of the circle, or for the water, what is inside, or the people maybe around you, or it does work. But the bigger scale, the bigger picture, the bigger purpose of Om chanting is to share that energy in a radius of, I don't know how many, 4 kilometers, something like this. Once Guruji was flying above the France, he was landing actually, and he looked through the window. It was just like a village, yeah, down there. You don't even see the houses, just through the clouds a little bit. And he said, like, "Oh, look, somebody's doing Om chanting down there." I was like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because I can see the huge beam of light going upwards." Hmm? And many of us, we don't even think about like this, but it's true. Like, for example, Kirtana Bhakti. I don't know the 9 forms of Bhakti. There is a Kirtana Bhakti. And in Kirtana Bhakti, what is happening? You are clapping, you are singing, you are joy, you are in good mood, you are happy. Whoever is participating, you can feel it. Yeah, the energy is completely different. For example, when the Kirtan stop, after 1 hour of Kirtan, when Kirtan stop, you can feel that that peacefulness in the air. Yeah, the calmness. Yeah, the mind is super quiet. You can sit and meditate. Yeah, and because of that joy. And what is happening actually, you are um, you're becoming like an amplifier. You know what an amplifier is? Like a yeah. I forgot that she's translating. Sorry. You're becoming like an amplifier, and you are sharing in that love. You are taking it, and you, let's say, spreading it around. That's why in Kirtan you have one guy who sings, and then everybody repeats, and then one guy again sing, and everybody repeats. It's like amplifier. You're just making the God's name stronger and louder, and that's how you do it. That's how you also feel inside of you, and you just share that love, and that's seva. That's seva. Singing in the temple, going to prayers, seva. Doing puja to your deities, doing japa, seva. Going to the temple in your place with other people, it's also seva. Everything is seva. But just the mentality or the mindset, how you approach to this has to change. Yeah, because once when you switch it, everything becomes so natural and so automatic, and you just feel it that doesn't matter if I'm a baker or I have to clean toilets or I have to work in the office. It's just Seva. He gave me in this life, on this period of my life, he gave me this to do, and I will do it. But I will do it with dedication to him, with my thoughts dedicated to him, with my all actions dedicated to him. I, when we were building the bungalow here, Guruji's house, there was one day I was. It was so cold, super rainy. Um, I think like one of the and like not just cold, like wet cold. Yeah, and one of the worst days that you can actually work outside anything. Yeah, like your fingers are so frozen and wet that you cannot do basically anything. But I have to fix the chimney, yeah, because it was open, so we need to close it. So I'm working on the with this how you gonna say this um, crane where you can go up on a by hydraulic. I don't know how you say this. So I was up on the maybe like 6 meters and working there, and I felt so much like I was just complaining constantly, yeah, and like this weather, and now I have to do this, and I was just like complaining, yeah. And then the more I complained, the more stuff are start falling out from my hand, yeah. And then they fell down all the way to the floor. So I need to go with machine all the way down to take them up, to bring them up. And this happened like 2, 3 times, yeah. And then in one moment, like something switched, and I start like I started observing myself and observing these thoughts and thinking like it's so bad, like from me to do this. Yeah? How many people would like to be in this place to help to build Guruji's house, yeah, or to do seva and everything in in SPN. So I start pushing my thoughts in other direction, yeah. And I was like, okay, like you need to forget about yourself, like you need to do this, and like I was faking it, but I was just thinking like, okay, maybe if I fake it enough, I will make it, yeah. I will change the way of thinking, yeah. It was just basically like a experiment, and uh and after a while I felt so much happiness and so much love that suddenly the that's the thing what I was doing become like one of the most beautiful thing I ever did. I was just screwing a freaking screw. I was just it's so funny. Like I was just screwing the screw, but I did it with so much joy, you know? And I couldn't believe. Like I literally couldn't believe. You know? And in that moment, um, I felt that somebody is watching me. Like I literally felt that somebody is watching me. Yeah? And I turn around, and then there is Guruji on the balcony, on the house next to him, looking at me, and he doesn't say anything. He's just looking at me with the sweetest smile ever. Like it's so sweet. And he just looking at me and look at him. And at that moment I realized that that's actually Seva. Like that's selfless service. Like that's why am I here? It's not about this house, what we are building. It's not about this crew, or it's not about like anything here. It's about growth of yourself. Yeah. And then he just, it was so sweet. He just looked at me, of course, like he closed it. He just didn't say anything. He just closed the window and walked away. Yeah. And he just left me there in tears. I was crying like for like 10 minutes. I was melting on the rain. But it is like this. And of course, like the next day or days after, you forget about it. It's completely natural. It's completely normal. But that's why we have to constantly remind ourselves again and again and again and again why we are actually doing this. Yeah? And why are we this low, or are we this soul or not? Or we just doing it because everybody is doing it and for sake of doing it I will also do it. Yeah? Or it's just part of my life, going to work and back, and this monotone life, like every day the same. Yeah? Even if every day is the same, like for example in ashram, every day is the same. But once when you change this and when you start looking at it from the way of seva, everything becomes different, become this self-service. Yeah. And then you can chant and you can do whatever you want. You start enjoying it because it just makes you happy. It makes you understand whatever you do, you actually do it for his sake, for Guruji's sake, and for Guruji's benefit, uh, benefit of his mission. Yeah. And your act in sangha or in at home or with your friends and everything, you actually realize that you can become that vessel to bring people to him. And that's one most beautiful thing. And that's what also Krishna said to Arjuna. Like, whatever I teach you now, don't keep it, share it. Yeah, learn and share to others. And that's what also we're supposed to do. Because if we have love, then we are not sharing it. It's a selfish thing to do. That's not seva. Because when we have love, you just want to share it. You want to give it. Yeah? For when you're in love, when you first time in love or whatever, when you're in love and you feel happiness and joy, and doesn't matter if it's super rainy outside, for you is the best day of your life. Yeah. And what you do, instinct, is to go and to share how happy you are, to share how good your day is, or just to make somebody happy or anything like this. Yeah. Because you have this joy, you have this love, and you want to share it with others. Yeah? So that's the way how we should approach seva and how we should approach to this selfless service. What Guruji is constantly saying that we should practice, practice, and practice. That's why he's constantly making us busy and busy and busy and busy and busy. And because the much we think, oh man, one more thing to do. Oh, one more thing to do. Oh, I need to now do this. Oh, I need to now do that. It's not like this. Actually, we should just be like, yes, like Haribo, I can do something what will benefit me and will benefit others. Yeah, it can be difficult, but we have all the time, all the time. Yeah, we don't know when we will depart, but every day is a gift from God, and we should take it. We should grasp it, and we should hold it, and we should use it as the best way it's possible. Yeah, it's like Guruji said, and also many saints actually said that live your days like your last one. So always give 100%. Guruji is constantly giving 100%, constantly. Like he, since he wakes up, he constantly pushing himself to do other stuff. Like it doesn't look like he's pushing himself, but he's just making an example to us. Like whatever you do, just do it 100%. Because the more you think about it, and the more you are in the moment, Because also one of the main things, like when you're doing Seva, or for example, now when I'm talking with you guys, I'm trying not to think about what I have to do afterwards, because I have still some stuff to do afterwards. It's fine. It's fine. When we finish, we finish. Even if we finish this at 11 at midnight or 11 at night, I'm perfectly fine with this. I will do my stuff later on. But I don't want to rush. I just want to sit and enjoy and do and just share and just talk about it and do the best what we can. Yeah. So it's the same as your job, or same Seva basically. Forget about everything. You are in the moment right now, living it, doing it the best as you can, and that's it. And then the next thing will come. Again, I'm now present here and doing it the best moment I can, the best way I can. That's it. And this is how we actually handle stuff, because we think too much in front or too much in past, but mostly in front, yeah? Because we already putting our limitations, or we already setting our goals, or maybe they're so high so that we, after, our expectation is like, I have to reach them in 3 days, but actually it's not possible. Yeah. But if you just taking it step by step, focusing on it, it will come. Because when he see your dedication into job, in your seva, into your thing what you're doing, he will immediately grace you. But he needs to see our effort. He needs to see that we want this. He needs to see that we want him. And that's also one of the main points. He needs to see that we want him, because he wants us 100%. That's why he's here. Yeah? That's why he's flying from country to country, giving darshans, giving satsangs, doing so many different things. But still, he just asks this much. Yeah? Just don't think about yourself. And that's it. It's not easy, but it's possible. But it's possible. So if anybody has any questions, maybe I talk a lot. I don't know. You all seem super quiet, so I don't know if
It's all so nice, bro. It's all so nice. Yeah, it's beautiful katha, bro. Может быть, кто-нибудь все-таки вопрос зададите, а нас переведут. Okay, maybe I ask you something, but I speak Russian, okay? Russian language.
No problem, no problem.
Панчика Даси.
Yeah, I will translate.
Иногда приходит такое вот в севе ощущение, что это уже не сева, а работа. Когда ты постоянно занят каким-то одним делом изо дня в день, и в итоге через 2 месяца ты понимаешь, что ты уже не наслаждаешься этой жизнью, не наслаждаешься этой севой, а у тебя просто настолько много загружен ум, мысли все, и ты только думаешь о том, как вывести это все дело. И ты забываешь, что после сева. Как в этом случае уйти от этой загруженности, от этой рутины и снова прийти в севу, в любовь, в счастье от того, что ты делаешь?
Sometimes, like when you do your seva, for example, like 2 months, and say it's like became your routine, you know, like your work. You don't feel like you don't enjoy it anymore. And so how to get from this, you know, like routine state when you don't enjoy it to, you know, again, have this feeling?
Well, one of the it's nice question. It was my biggest problem ever in my seva here, because it's what I said, that life here it's constantly basically the same. You wake up, temple, seva, seva, temple, and then Guruji adds a little bit more of temple, and then seva, and then you go to sleep. So basically every day is the same. Yeah, you do sometimes different jobs, something, but it's every time is the same. So what helped me a lot is actually just to change my mindset and just to find anything positive inside of my seva. Yeah, and something new and refreshing. Yeah, because for example, for devotees, Guruji said that we should always chant in the morning mantra and ask Rahasratra mantra, secret mantras, and ask Guruji, or to be grateful to God that He gave us one more day to serve Him. Yeah? And this is actually what I do every day. When I wake up, I say thank you for giving me this opportunity, so I can serve you in the best way I can. Yeah, and I ask Him, like, basically just let my day be fulfilled with your love. Yeah, and with the practice of this mantra, constant repetition, is somehow like my mindset in tune in this, that I'm entering the new day like in a new mission, and in my new mission is like how I can serve Him today. Yeah? And then I'm not thinking like, oh, I need to do this again, and always the same, like it's not like this. I'm just entering day in my day, just how can I serve Him the best I can, or how can I serve others the best what I can. And something is just switch. It just switch. The monotone life, it will just disappear. It will not be there anymore, because you felt joy for serving Him. Because what I realized, the more I felt, oh, everything is repeating again, oh, I'm depressed or sad, or I don't know, I'm losing interest or will to proceed and everything. What I actually realized, that everything is, I'm constantly thinking about myself. Why am I not happy? Why this doesn't make me happy? Or why I'm not good in this? Or uh, why I don't feel this joy anymore? Or why? So it's fine if I don't feel joy. It's absolutely fine. It's also about the acceptance. Yeah, not every day will be blissful. That's normal. Not every day will be sad, or every day will be angry, or every day will be. It's normal. It's a progress. Yeah, it's a progress to self-realization, and then to God realization. It's a progress in this spiritual path. So the more we are focusing and forgetting about ourselves, the more and more the other things will start opening. Yeah, because what we like to do is that out of 10 things what is good happening, one thing happened bad, something bad happened in our life, we immediately catch to this bad stuff, and all other 10 good things what we had before, we completely forget about this. Yeah, so it's the same like with this, like you have 5 amazing days of seva, you felt so much love and whatever. Yeah, and then one bad day or few bad days, immediately you allow yourself to become bad thought. You immediately become depressive, and actually it should not be like this. Yeah? Because once when we change the mindset, it's possible. Yeah, but it will not happen overnight. That's for sure. If it happened overnight, Haribo, like you have been graced by Guruji. It can be or not to be, it doesn't matter. But it's our effort needs to be shown in this. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if you're talking from your personal experience, but like you talk with people constantly, and you are um, uh, you having this retreat with silent retreat and Atma Kriya Yoga and Japa and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Guru Gita, and so on, so on, so on. And it's amazing. Like, just think about it. You have possibility to actually talk about Guruji and God all the time. And you help so many people, and you can reach so many people, and you can perceive the change in people because you know what they feel, because you were on this place already. And you are what I was saying, like you become a vessel for them to come too close to him because you know what he can give, because you experience this love. You cannot give it, but you experience it and you want to share it. And one of the most beautiful things is to actually see your friends or people who you know, brothers and sisters, coming to this path and start feeling the same thing. And for me, this is like the top inspiration ever to do it even more. Yeah, so because also like the more we become depressed and down and we think that we are doing too much or we don't want to do this again, that's also what we reflect on the outside. Yeah, somehow then we are closing ourselves in front of people, and then the people will start feeling reject from it. But once when you open and you just want to invite everybody and you do it with full of love, I doubt that somebody can just say no, because it's just our nature as a soul. It's to be positive. Yeah, and it's that love itself. So it's just like a magnet. It's attract to it. It cannot just walk away. It's walk away because of the mind, because the mind is too strong. But this deep inside is attract to it. So many people, my friends, were like before, not now anymore, but they were upset, intrigued in the same time. Yeah, because like why? But no, I don't believe. But why? But like because there was part of them that was super interested, but they don't know why. But then the mind wakes up and then they start judging, or and then they just walk away because the mind was too strong. They couldn't fight. But that's how uh, we should do opposite from it. We should be actually, we should act selflessly. We should forget about ourselves, but actually think about others and think about him. And I think from that point of view, from that mindset, the enthusiasm and love, everything will change. Yeah, because once when you offer it to him, it feels like you're. I don't know if you guys practicing this, but there is a reason why was Guruji saying it and Krishna is saying it constantly. Whatever you do, just offer it to me. Bad, good, it doesn't matter. Just offer it to me. Whatever you did in this day. And actually, I cannot go to sleep if I don't do it. Like literally, I cannot go to sleep. There is part of something missing to fulfill my day, my full day. And once when I do it, it feels so good. Like I know that I did stupid stuff, I know I did some good stuff. It doesn't matter. Like it's just one more day where I could learn something. That's it. Let's hope tomorrow will be a new day where I can learn something more and help somebody else more. That's it. I don't know if this maybe help or answer you, but
В основном я вопросы задаю для ребят, поскольку имею огромный опыт Севы, уже лет 8 активного служения, и просто знаю очень главные, так сказать, трудности в Севе, которые я преодолевал не один год, и очень хотелось бы, чтобы ты рассказал нам именно об этом. И еще один вопрос сейчас задам. Панчика, дась. Не слышно, не слышно.
Первый вопрос, это получается, чтобы он рассказал о своих трудностях.
Не, это переведи то, что я ему сказал.
Так, сейчас. Можешь повторить? Не до конца поняла.
Первый вопрос. То, что я спрашиваю, это одни из главных моментов или проблемных моментов в Севе. И это мой личный опыт, который я уже около 8 лет прохожу. И вот чтобы для ребят он хотел пояснить. И сейчас еще один вопрос задам.
Yeah, so first question was, it was from his personal experience, and like it was like the biggest problems like that he you know, that you can get from Seba, from his personal experience. So pointed out.
В общем, еще один вопрос. Насколько важна садхана в Севе? Поскольку я очень много знаю опытов людей, когда вот эта рутина затягивает, Сева уходит, садхана уходит куда-то в последнее место. Насколько важно делать садхану? Панчика? 3 seconds, bro.
It's fine.
I think, I don't know, maybe internet. You hear me, bro?
I can hear you, yeah.
Панчика, даси.
I think her internet was...
Okay. The question is, how important is to make sadhana when you are doing seva? Because very often it becomes like this. You are doing seva, yeah, it becomes like every day, a lot of, and you put sadhana on the last minute or last step, yeah. How important is to do sadhana when you are doing seva, a lot of seva? The question is like this.
I think also what Guruji wants from us, and he mentioned many times during the satsang, is that we should take time for ourselves, yeah, to do our sadhana, to do 1 hour japa, to be in a silence, and to do kriya and so on. Because I think this is also very important, to be with ourselves. And once when we develop this calmness and peacefulness, then we can do sadhana, because seva. Because I believe too much seva is never enough, but also we need to know the limits. Yeah? We need to understand the limits of everything. But if you can be awake all night and do sadhana during night and do seva during the day, it's very good. Yeah? But not to force yourself. Yeah? To allow to have some natural flow in your life is very good, because then you have time for yourself, and once when you have time for yourself, you mean that you work on yourself. Yeah, you're making yourself stronger, and by making yourself stronger, you can come out and you can do your seva with more confidence, with more mindset or attitude for who you're doing seva and for what, and what is actually purpose of your whole life. But if you just end up in this loop of seva, you don't actually, we just said, oh yeah, I'm doing seva, but are we actually doing seva? What actually mean? That's selfless service. Are we do it constantly with full mind, or like a mind on that whatever I do it 100% without any expectation of results, without any fruits, without any benefit, and I do it strictly for him. It's difficult. Of course, it's very difficult. It's very easy to forget. So many times we say, "Oh, we're just doing seva because this is like a term," yeah. But it's not so easy. Yeah? So that's why it's also good to do sadhana, to remind ourselves, to go in a center point and to see, okay, why we are doing this, why am I doing this, for what I'm doing this, what is the reason, yeah. And that's also like constantly remind ourselves on that repetition, practice, and that's how we can approach a next day or seva and everything. You can do seva in the morning, sadhana in the morning, during the day, but on the end, everything becomes one. Yeah, seva doesn't stop. Seva is also doing japa. Yeah, you do something selflessly for him, for yourself, of course, for your benefit, but also you do for him. You do for his love. Atma Kriya Yoga is also you do everything for his love. Action in awareness. Yeah, awareness of who you are, and you are that love. So in the end, there is not such a big difference between sadhana and seva. You know, in the end, they're together. It's just how you approach them, or how you practice them. Fine.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Может,
May-
кто-нибудь еще
may
задаст
I-
вопрос?
May I ask?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me, please, I'll say, how to find this balance between seva, what he wants you to do, and seva, what I want to do, actually. Because when, for example, you live in the ashram, you know exactly what he wants, because he directly, or somebody who higher than you can may just give you seva, you know. And but when you are in the outside world, there is almost nobody, you know. You just like with yourself. It seems like you are with yourself, but because, you know, very often I just saw in my life that when I was in ashram, it was like, I can, for example, I can paint very good, or I can sing very good, or something else, or I'm going to the ashram with expectation that I'm going to clean toilet, and no, nothing else, you know. But he give you some seva which you never did before, and which is just like it's very difficult for you to do, you know. But he like show you, I don't want you to sing, I know that you can do this. No, for example, you know, I don't want you to paint, and somebody else paint some, I don't know, huge paintings on the walls, you know, and so on. And when you're back to outside world, you just don't see this balance between, okay, there I knew what he wants me to do, but here I don't know, because I'm constantly afraid to start just do what I want, you know, but not what he wants.
Yeah, I understand. It's very nice, actually. First of all, even here, he can make you confused as you've never been confused in your entire life. There is many occasions that whatever you do, if it's good or bad, he will make it that it's worse, or that it's not good at all. So you did it so many times, the same procedure over and over again, and it's good, and he will come to you and say that many times, it's not good, it's not good, it's not good, it's not good. It's just his way of thinking and instructing or modulating our way of thinking. Yeah. And for the outside, many people came to Guruji and they were constantly saying that, oh Guruji, what is my dharma, or what should I do, or what should I pursue? Yeah. And then Guruji asked, okay, so what are you doing? And he said, like, I don't know, I'm a lawyer, let's say. And Guruji said, okay, fine, do what you have to do, that's your dharma. Yeah? And many people, they don't like to hear that, because also many people, they coming to Guruji, sorry, with the expectation of, I want to be, Guruji always make fun of, I want to be a healer, yeah, and then I want to be something spiritual behind that I have to do, and they come with this expectation of that Guruji will answer exactly what they want to hear, but it's not like this. It's Krishna is saying many times, like, whatever he has given to you in your life, just accept how it is and take it as your seva, take it as your job. And if you, for example, it's hard for me to instruct or tell you what to do or not, but I also believe, like, if you know that Guruji wants something for you to do when you are in outside world, and you then he knows that you need to do some certain seva for Bhakti Marga or whatever, just do it, because he knows why, and he knows why is this given to you, and he knows why that you can do it. Yeah. But if you want intuitively by yourself that you want to proceed something and do something because you really want to do this seva for many other reasons, I don't know, just try, see how it is. Like, it's your life, you will see it. Like, there are two options, or it can go good or it can go not so good. It's the way of life. Yeah, we learn on our mistakes, and our failures and our success. So whatever is given to us in a certain moment, it's like this, because it's not that I choose to be brahmachari. I did choose to be brahmachari, but many time I asked Guruji, and he said, like, it's your destiny to be brahmachari. Like, in this life, you need to be brahmachari, and that's it. And I understand now, when I'm thinking about it like this, everything from my past life, let's say my previous many years ago, everything was leading somehow to it. I was not aware of it, but it was like this. Yeah. But that doesn't mean for somebody else who is outside that it's like this. Somebody needs to be grihasta, somebody needs to have family, somebody needs to bring new devotees to Guruji, like somebody needs to, and what a beautiful grace is to be outside with a constant contact with outside people that you can help and bring to Guruji. You can have your own kids and bring them to Guruji. They can grow up in a perfect, beautiful environment and everything. So everything has their benefits. There is no negative. Actually, everything has their own benefits, and everything has their own way of looking at it. But to have this expectation of Guruji that he will tell us every time when we want to hear something, that specifically, this is your seva, this is your seva. Because as a devotee, when we think that, and we should actually think like this, that everything what is giving to us in our life and now in this moment is because he wants it like this, then also our job is giving us in that way, or our position in Bhakti Marga is giving us also like this, or so on and so on. For example, I never saw myself to be Rishi, never ever. Like, there was ideas, there was inside, but I was constantly thinking, it's just my mind trying to make me proud, like trying to push me up or whatever, yeah. Because I never saw myself, I was quite shy before. I never saw myself that I would talk about in front of people or in public or so on, yeah. But apparently Guruji has some other plans, and that plans were definitely not aligned with my plans. And then he just keep on showing you, like, whatever you plan, it's fine, you can try, but you will see if it's work, it's good. If it doesn't work, it will be on my way, on the end, like it's going to be on his way, and constantly bringing it back. I don't know if this is maybe helping you to answer your question, because I'm trying to somehow put it in a way of not directly instructing people what to
Thanks.
do, if you
Thank you.
understand what you mean.
It helps a lot. Thank you.
No.
May I ask you some question again?
Yes.
Maybe you have, I don't know, similar situation. What to do when maybe all devotees, we just want to do what he wants. But what to do when you did something and afterwards somebody tells you that it's exactly what he didn't want you to do, that you did opposite of his will, not maybe not will, but wish, he told, don't do this, that's it, yeah, but you did. My goodness, what to do?
Okay, I mean, well,
It's about Seva also.
I understand. It's I think I will, if the situation happened like this and I did something what I was not supposed to do, even if was clearly said by Guruji or XYZ, what I would do, I would try to reflect on it. Okay, why did I went in this direction, or why did I do something like this? There must be a reason. Like, was my pride? Like, was my feeling of some anger or frustration that lead me in these wrong decisions? Yeah, because also, like what Krishna saying in Gita, like once when you get attached to it, you become, desire awakes, yeah, and out of that desire, that frustration, anger, and then everything leads to this, that you start acting rationally, you don't think properly, and you start making wrong decisions, yeah. And also it could that something led me to that decision, yeah, or maybe not, or maybe I just did it for some reason, so that I have to learn something, everybody around me, they have to learn something, or accepting me how I am, or that there is many options of how to approach this, yeah. But also I believe there is a common sense somehow, or common reason of thinking. It's like, if Guruji said, like, don't put hand in the fire, you're gonna burn yourself, and you are looking at it like, oh yes, okay, and then when I'm saying yes, I'm putting my hand in the fire and I get burned, then it's also like, oh, Guruji, I told you so, yeah, but you didn't listen. Like, it could be also that, yeah, maybe I was too much in myself, that I didn't think about it, and I was in my mind too much, that I didn't listen to words of my guru, and I start doing some completely random stuff opposite. And it's constantly happening. So I think we should not be so strict to ourselves, but just more aware of Guruji's teachings, of Guruji's instructions, of Bhakti Marga instructions, or just to be more settled in and in tune with everything what is happening around us.
Thank you.
No.
Sorry, I have a small question.
Mhm.
I'm not a devotee. And my question is how to understand the Guruji's plans for you. What time, when, and how?
Well, I think he will never send you a email with the exact date and the and the time of hour when the grace will descend on us. But I think is once when you open yourself and you approach him, then gradually everything will start changing. Yeah, it's just about your step forward in your decision of changing and willing to change. Because once when we do this, you're opening basically a gate for him to come into your life and to, because he never forced nobody. He never forced nobody. He waits for it. He waits for this interaction between us and him. Yeah? And once when you are open for it, once when you're willing to change or you're willing to experience what can he give, then he will start slowing, and then he will start giving, and also he will start giving as much as you can handle. And that's spiritual path. The more how much he gives, that how much you can handle, and that's always increasing.
So doesn't mean that for this, firstly, I need to take a decision to be a devotee. Yes?
Yeah, that's what Guruji also said, like, what do you feel? What do you feel inside of you?
If I'm
Nobody can.
I'm not ready
No,
at this moment.
it's fine. Like it's perfectly fine. Nobody's forcing anybody. Guruji said, as first ask yourself, what do you feel and what do you want to do with your life? That's it. And then the rest will come.
Okay, it's difficult because really I really don't know what I want. This is a problem, I suppose.
Well, for me, it's difficult to tell you that, but the best way, I think, is also just to pray for any sign, and also to be clear somehow with yourself. Whenever it's the clear moment, if you're thinking or your decisions, you write them down and reflect on them. See what make you happy, what make you sad, let's say, or to see actually where this life, what you're in the moment, gonna lead you. Yeah.
Yes, I see. Thank you very much for the answer. Thank you.
Кто-то еще, может, хочет задать вопрос? Или написать его? Нет, у меня нету, может быть, кто-нибудь. Okay, bro, no questions. It's
No.
perfect, Katha, bro. Thank you so much. You so
Thank you guys for
good
listening.
man, bro. Good Rishi, and I love you, bro. It's true. Nice.
Nice. Well, I was happy to share and to see you. I mean, to see some of you. Some of the cameras off, but doesn't matter. Well, thank you for everything, guys. I'm gonna finish with Om Shanti 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 Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. Principal Sadgurudev Shri Swami Shananda Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Principal Shri Is this Moscow Sangha or Russian Sangha?
It's Russian Sangha, bro.
Ah, Russian Sangha Ki
And
Jai.
it's not only it's followers and devotees, it's all people.
Nice. Ah, it's still Sangha.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Sangha is Sangha. People are getting together.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you, bro.
Good night.
Jai Gurudev, thank you
See
very much.
there.
Jai
See you
Gurudev.
there.
Bye.
Bye-bye.